I'm meteorologist Stevie D. The time now is 4:30 on this Thursday morning. Let's look at your full forecast. Temps right now are starting off milder than yesterday. There are many areas holding strong into the 70s already, and it's only 4:30 in the morning. 73 degrees downtown, so a little bit warmer, closer to the metro, a little bit cooler the farther out you travel. Out towards Bel Air, sitting at 64, 66 in Elkton, and 68 degrees in Centerville. So we do have another taste of summer on the horizon today. So yesterday we actually broke the old record high of 88 that was set back in the 1940s. We did hit 91 degrees at the airport. Today we have another shot of pretty much jeopardizing the old record high temperature, as we do have a lot of warm air that's going to file in from the south. So if you liked yesterday's feel, you'll certainly love today's. We are going to be climbing back into the 90s, the lower 90s, as we get into the afternoon with a mixture of sunshine and clouds. The old record high for today was set back in 2012. It's 90 degrees. We're projected to be nearly 25 degrees above average once again today. Keep in mind the average high temperature is 67 degrees for mid-April, so we are going to be well above that. And because we do have temps in the 90s today, that is leaving us with a moderate risk for heat-related illnesses, just like yesterday. So this mostly is in place for the entire area, with the exception of Essex and even down towards Easton, closer to the immediate shoreline where it could be feeling a tad bit cooler. But folks like older adults and infants, and also folks who are working outdoors, just make sure you're finding ways to keep cool. Drinking plenty of water, keeping the blinds closed, that could also help out your HVAC unit. And then scheduling things during the coolest part of the day, like go for that run this morning when temperatures are at their coolest. Because here's a glance right around noon and 1 o'clock. Upper 80s and the low 90s, they stay pretty much right around that area. As we head closer to 4 to 5 o'clock, they will begin to drop as the sun sets, of course. And then once the things go dark, we could encounter a spotty shower or two, but a lot of that energy starts to fade as it travels eastward. A spotty shower or two can't be ruled out for your Friday. Temps will be a little bit cool. Meteorologist Stevie D. The time now is 4:45 on this Friday Eve. Let's take a look at this very steamy Super 7-day forecast, because once again, we should likely hit the lower 90s this afternoon, just like yesterday, where we hit a high of 91 degrees at the airport. I'm forecasting a high of 91 today, so likely at least tying the old record high that was set back in 2012. We do have a chance of breaking it. We also have the increased risk for wildfire spread, dry fuels. We have low humidity to work with, and we also have that breeze that's going to kick up out of the south today. Wind gusts up to about 20 to 25. A stray shower or two is possible as we head into this evening, mostly later tonight after the sun sets. And I wouldn't rule out a few spotty showers throughout your Friday as that front makes its way through. But it's going to feel a little bit cooler out there tomorrow with a high temperature of 82, so we get some relief from this intense summer heat. Back up into the low 80s on Saturday. Mostly sunny skies, a very nice and pleasant start to the weekend. Sunday's the day where we start to see some of those rain showers trickle back in as the cold front slides through. This is going to knock our temperatures down. Daniels, the time now is 5 o'clock on this Friday Eve. Let's take a look at temps all across the area this morning, across the state, sitting a little bit warmer than yesterday and certainly above average. Upper 60s to even the low 70s. Frostburg, I see you guys waking up to a temperature of 70 degrees, a little bit cooler the farther west you head out towards Deep Creek. Ellicott City and Severn both sitting at 68 and matching that temperature up in Jarrettsville in Harford County. We do have a little bit of a temperature change. You'll notice that difference in the air. It's not feeling too bad outside right now, anywhere from 5 to 10 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. So it's going to be a pretty comfortable start to the day as you head out on your morning drive, but temps are going to heat up pretty quickly. So if you're thinking about taking the long run or walk today, I really would do that during the coolest part of the day. So in the morning or in the evening, we should be right around 80 degrees by Daniels. The time now is 5:17 on this Friday Eve. Let's take a look at your full forecast. This morning, you might notice a little bit of a difference in the air. We're starting off even warmer than yesterday, nearly 5 to 10 degrees warmer. I'm seeing some 70s out there on this temperature map. The warmest spot right now, Westminster, sitting at 73 degrees, 71 in Thurmont, down towards the southeast, also hanging out, feeling pretty mild in the mid to upper 60s. 60s this morning from Easton all the way out through Denton in Caroline County. So just like yesterday, we have another taste of summer on our hands. A very impressive ridge of high pressure is really keeping us on this warmer side of things. And we also have some cooler air back off towards the Pacific Northwest. So this crest right here, this is allowing all that warmth to filter in from the Gulf. This is the reason why we're going to be so warm out there, making a run back into the low 90s, just like yesterday. So once again, we have the potential to at least tie the old record high of 90 that was set back in 2012. I am forecasting a high temperature of 91, so there is a very good chance that we could even break that record temperature. And we definitely hit 91 degrees at BWI yesterday, breaking that record high. So we do have a moderate risk for heat-related illnesses today all across central Maryland. That's why this map is highlighted in this orange color right here. This basically means folks in those sensitive groups who are most sensitive to this heat, like older adults, infants, and folks who work outside, need to take proper precautions to stay safe. This heat is no joke. Heat is the #1 weather-related killer globally, so take this very seriously. There is a very low chance, a very low risk to the general public, though. An elevated risk for fire spread. I've been showing this all week long, and this is going to remain an issue throughout the rest of this week as we keep skies dry. We have low humidity to work with, and we will be feeling a little bit of a breeze out there with gusts around 20 to 25, which could help spread a lot of that wildfire if a flame is ignited. As we take a look at futurecasts, rising into the upper 80s and even the low 90s by 1 to 2 o'clock this afternoon. Dealing with a little bit more in the way of cloud cover later this evening with a few stray showers that could start to build in from west to east. It looks like they begin to fade and they start to pop up right around the sunset time frame and even beyond. But a few spotty showers are possible tomorrow. We dip down into the closer you head towards the immediate bay shoreline, like places in Annapolis, and also Chestertown sitting at 64 degrees and out towards Olney 65. So it's another day where you need the iced cup of coffee to get your day started, or iced tea. Temps should be right around 75 degrees by 9 o'clock. We'll be dealing with intervals of clouds and sunshine today, so some of that sun going to help us heat up. We also have a breeze out of the south that is going to help our numbers climb nearly 25 degrees above average. We have another chance of breaking the old record high of 90 that was set back in 2012. So I'm forecasting a high temperature of 91 degrees today. It is going to be feeling very warm also throughout the evening, staying in the 80s pretty much throughout 8 to even 9 o'clock. Back to you.
All right, Stevie, thank you.
With across portions of the Midwest, and it seems like that same storm system is starting to make its way eastward. So now portions of New York will be under a slight risk today, a level 2 out of 5. So there is the threat not only for strong damaging wind gusts for our friends farther west, and this also includes western Maryland, but up towards upstate New York, even out by western New York as well. New Hampshire and Vermont could even see a spin up or two. But as we take a look at what we're dealing with today, we have the heat to worry about, and just keep in mind that you might love the warmer temperatures, but heat is the #1 weather-related killer globally. So this needs to be taken seriously, especially those who are most sensitive to heat-related illnesses. So older adults, infants, outdoor workers, if you are going to be outside gardening or doing yard work for an extended period of time, just keep in mind you need to take frequent breaks, find a shaded area if you can, and stay hydrated because this heat is not going to be a joke. If yesterday was too warm for you, today is going to be too warm as well. We get another taste of summer. We have this ridge just cresting over the mid-Atlantic region, allowing that warm, moist air to file in from the Gulf. It's going to get hot, hot, hot out there today as the 90s come back in style. This morning, not seeing any 90s out there, of course, but there is one area actually starting off in the 70s. Westminster, you guys are still holding strong to that 73-degree mark. 65 a little bit cooler the further east you head out towards Cockeysville. And then if you approach the bay shoreline, Annapolis, you guys currently sit at 63, so a little bit cooler near the immediate waterfront. But we'll be rising back into the low 90s today. Here's a look at today's day planner. Partly cloudy skies, a mixture of sun and clouds is expected even throughout the early parts of the evening before more clouds start to roll in later on tonight. But today's another day where we could challenge the old record high of 90 set back in 2012. The average high for this time of year, 67 degrees for mid-April. So we're likely going to be nearly 25 degrees above that. Outdoor burning, once again, highly discouraged today because we do have low humidity. We also have those breezy southerly winds clocking in at about 20 to 25. So just hold off on those bonfires today. It's also probably going to be too hot for any bonfires activities as well. Right around 2 o'clock, most of us should be hanging out in the upper 80s and low 90s. More clouds drift in later tonight. There could be some passing showers later on this evening after sunset, and a few spotty showers can't be ruled out for Friday. Looking at a dry, though, is what time I wake up in the morning. Answer to that, 1 o'clock in the morning. And it seems like we have some future meteorologists or even some news anchors in the making. So excited to see where their careers take them. Taking a glance at our temps right now, we are starting things off a little bit warmer than yesterday. Most of us are hovering in the 60s and 70s. Right now, 71 degrees in downtown Baltimore. Westminster and Thurmont, you guys are also sitting in the low 70s, a little bit cooler in Annapolis and Elkton. Good morning to you, 64 degrees for you. Here's a glance at how quickly our temps will be climbing throughout the day today. We should be right around the lower to mid 80s, right around lunchtime. As you head home from school, the kids are going to get dropped off later today, right around 2 to 3 o'clock. It's going to be feeling like the lower 90s. We have a lot of this warm air that filters in from the Gulf, but we do have a cool down on the horizon. I'll talk more about that coming up in my full forecast. Christy? It's going to be a scorcher out there for sure. There is a moderate risk for heat-related illnesses for folks who are most sensitive to the heat. So older adults, infants, and even outdoor workers. So if you have to be outside for an extended period of time, take frequent breaks and also wear light-colored clothing as well. The darker the clothing is, the more heat is going to be absorbed from the sun. So as we take a look, you can see that this map is very orange. It is highlighted in this orange color, indicating that we do have that moderate risk. The threat to the general population is looking to be low, but this could be problematic for folks in those sensitive groups. And today's heat is not just going to impact the mid-Atlantic, it's also spreading and really starting to filter in across the state of North Carolina, the Northeast, the Midwest, and even out towards the plains. Wichita, Kansas, likely going to be seeing these temps about 20 to 25 degrees above normal, very similar to what we're going to be dealing with today. So yesterday, if yesterday was way too hot for you, today is going to be a little bit too hot for you as well, as we make another run back into the low 90s, upper 60s and the low 70s across much of the area, with the exception of Annapolis and places closer to the immediate shoreline. That's where we're feeling some of that cooler air reside across the region. But here's a glance at how quickly our temps will creep up throughout the day. We should be right around 80 degrees by 10 o'clock, upper 80s by noon, and then 91 degrees by the 2 o'clock hour. It's truly going to feel more of a summer-like day rather than spring. Even though the calendar says it is officially spring, it is going to be feeling more like late June or even early July. So I'm forecasting a high of 91 today. We have another opportunity to break the old record high of 90 that was set back in 2012. So the record for today likely going to be in jeopardy. It's going to be very high. The pollen tracker is looking to be on the high side as well. Maple, elm, and juniper are going to be the top allergens today. So I would take those allergy meds, reduce your time outside, not just because of the heat, but also to help mitigate some of those seasonal symptoms. We have clouds that will build in later on tonight. A few passing showers can't be ruled out either, but they will start to fade as they progress eastward. We could start to see some of these showers drift in after the sun sets. A few spotty raindrops are possible on Friday with a high of 82. Looking at your 7-day forecast, 81 on your Saturday, and dealing with lots of sun in our northwestern suburbs. This afternoon, look at this record high temperature, 90 degrees. We're likely going to at least tie that. That was set back in 2012. There is an increased risk for fire spread because we do have that noticeable breeze out of the south. It is going to bring us a lot of warmth, but it also could help spread any fire that gets ignited or any spark. For your Friday, 82 degrees. We fall back in the temperature department. We're still going to be above average, though. We're supposed to be right around 67 degrees for this time of year. So this summer-like warmth does continue with a few spotty rain chances throughout the day tomorrow. Into your Saturday, dealing with more in the way of sunshine. This is how it's going to be looking out by the Inner Harbor. 81 for a high temperature, and then into your Sunday, that's when things start to switch gears. A cold front travels through. This is going to knock our temperatures down to 70 degrees throughout your Sunday afternoon, dealing with more clouds and also some of that rain-cooled air. Our next best dose of rain that takes place on Sunday, as that the better, right? But as we take a look outside this morning, the sun is already shining. So the sun has woken up. We are dealing dealing with a beautiful looking start to the day over downtown Baltimore. The water is pretty calm and relaxed as well. So not really a whole lot to get in the way of your morning drive, but we are starting off a little bit milder than yesterday, about 5 to 10 degrees warmer. So you will notice the difference in the air. 64 degrees in Haverty Grace, up and down the eastern shore, mid 60s for all of you. Chesapeake Beach currently sits at 68, 72 in Hagerstown. So we're already off to a warm start. This is going to kick us off. We have a very summer-like day expected with high temperatures hitting the upper 80s to even the low 90s. We have the potential to break another record this afternoon as our numbers are expected to climb into the lower 90s today. So about 25 degrees above average. The old record for today was set back into 2012. It is 90 degrees, so we have a very good shot of breaking that. Also down in Washington, D.C., likely dealing with record-breaking temperatures. Above average all across the mid-Atlantic region. The Northeast is also going to experience this summer-like heat, the Great Lakes, and even out towards the Midwest. Omaha all the way down towards Oklahoma, dealing with some of that intense heat. And just keep in mind that extreme heat is the #1 weather-related killer globally. It causes more fatalities, more than storms and droughts and even floods. Taking a glance at your risk for today, in addition to the heat, we have an elevated risk for wildfire spread because we do have a lot of dry fuels, low humidity to work with. So we're not talking about triple-digit heat index values, which is good, but any flame that gets ignited today could spread pretty rapidly. That's the reason why we say outdoor burning of any kind discouraged today. And I've been saying that all week long. I know I sound like a broken record, but those conditions stretch into the first half of the weekend because look at this. We still keep skies dry, very warm as well. There could be a passing shower or two that forms later tonight after the sun sets. But as this moisture travels eastward, it'll start to fade out a little bit. And then into your Friday, waking up to a very mild start with numbers well into the 60s. Your 7-day forecast. We cool things down after today, back still above average and feeling summer-like, but at least we won't be in the 90s tomorrow. 82 for a high temperature with a few spotty